the law is made for people who break the law. No any righteous man can break the law, but only the bad ones. And where there is law, there are principles and ethics. And our government teaches us that those ethics and principles apply in business, in whatever. And I'm surprised when people do people not sit down and ask them what is the term department, what is the term constitution mean, what is the term organization mean? Because of like, to me, I sit down and say no. Somebody was sitting down and thought on how to use his wisdom or his knowledge and say no. Let's call when people are like this, it's on an organization. When people are together, it's on an organization. Or when things is like this, is department. Or for things to be like this, is constitution. Because of constitution, it's written on paper. And constitution, it's a system. Like terms like system. The word system, if you define it, you can trace it. Okay. You see, and a paper, it's nature. It comes from a tree, of which before you can trace that there's where a paper originated. It was not there before, of which the constitution is written on paper, of which it did not exist before. But then, it's a gene. It's a gene. And when you go into these things, I'm surprised on how people are struggling to. We are told unemployment is too high, youth. The devil is ruling, guys. The devil is ruling. The devil is ruling. But what I like is that he doesn't rule by a force. This guy who's called the devil, who's got 5,000 years of many years BC living. This guy is so smart on how he goes about taming people to be under his rule. But then the devil binds, Jesus frees. And these principles and principles and ethics which falls under the law. We can even go to business studies, which then tells us on how to go about following these ethics and principles, of which we got microenvironment, impact of recent legislation on business. We got Skills Development Act, we got the Labor Relation Act, we got Employment Equity Act, Basic Condition Employment, Compensation of Occupational Injury and Disease, Black Economic Empowerment, National Credit Act, Consumer Protection Act. All these things are laws, man, which then tells us how to go about doing them. As you have said, we have macro environment, impact on recent legislation on business. We have human resource functions, ethics and professionalism, creative thinking and problem solving. What's there again? Business strategy in the macro environment, corporate social responsibility and corporate social investment, human rights, inclusivity and environmental issues, team performance assessment, conflict management and problem solving, the sector in the economy in relation to the business environment, management and leadership styles, quality of performance, investment of which it's insurance and securities, investment of which it's insurance, forms of ownership, presentation of business information. Like all those things got ethics and principles to tell us how to follow these laws which were given by somebody somewhere. That's why we are in a mess we are in, guys, because of somebody's making decision out of his knowledge, of which to solve these problems which we are facing today's time. Pastors are the answers. Pastors, those like Joshua Mapong. But then, sometimes when you listen, I let me not talk too much because of like uh, 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 I feel as though I'm not worth saying anything about the guy because of the guy is with too much authority. He's blessed. He's blessed. But then the devil likes to use good people, people who understand things, people who understand the depth or how deep the rabbit hole goes. But I hope they be saved. I hope they be saved because of Jesus when he sends, because of when God sends Jesus, his son, he sends him for those who are kept captive to be free. And I hope me too that Jesus keeps on elevating me because of the Bible teaches us to fight from victory, not to fight for victory. You know, you know what I mean.